on Nation, a window cleaners podcast. We are going to be talking all about the future of window cleaning, the industry and everything. And I have an amazing industry expert with me. So if you're in window cleaning, thinking about getting into window cleaning, or heck, just want to spend some time, stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? This is Jersey from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? If it's your first time here, we are going on 8 years of solid content every single week. You got tons to catch up on, watch, or listen anywhere podcasts are. By the way, if you're on Spotify, make sure to follow or wherever you are. If it's not your first time here and you're just back because we hang out every week, thank you. It is because of you that I exist. So very, very much thank you for that. Let's jump right into it. I have one of the most well-known window cleaning geniuses with me today, Mr. Chris Lambrinides. How are you, man?
That's a lot. It's a lot.
It's an intro, man. You're getting hyped up. No,
that's
but a lot of people know you kind of in and out of the industry. You're not like on the front end with a lot of stuff. You do so many more things kind of on the back end, but I figured who better to talk to about like just the future of the industry and kind of where things are going than somebody that I know kind of does more planning and statistics than pretty much anybody else. So yeah. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been years since you've had me on, I think.
I know. Well, there's been a lot of emails and texts from listeners saying that they just don't want to hear you, but I still put you on, I just, sometimes you got to go against the norm, but no, man, yes, we actually talked about this show years and years ago about this being a good idea. And that was almost 8 years ago. So it's going to be 8 years in June. So this show's been going on for a very, very long time. So yeah, I think you've been on maybe 3 times in that entire 8 years, which is crazy. So
I feel like maybe you should invite me on more.
I should. I really should. Get better ratings that way,
Do people listening know that there was another show called WCR Nation before your WCR Nation? And
I don't think so, even because WCR Nation originally started as a YouTube series, and it was one of my favorite shows at the time. It was so awesome. It was very different than what it is now, but it was literally one of the main reasons that WCR started with such a following, was because of that. It was so it was just real people sitting around having a couple drinks, talking about everything that's going on in the industry, and it was just it was so different than kind of what was out there. The whole, I'm fancy and I don't connect with anybody kind of thing. So yeah, that was.
Yeah, there was only 30 episodes of that, and we've scrubbed most of them from YouTube. I think a few of them might be out there still. We actually started the show on a thing called Google Video because at the time YouTube had just come out and they only allowed for 10-minute uploads. The whole hour-long show was only 2 megabytes. Or no, 2 gigabytes, and sometimes it would take up to 36 hours to upload, and it would fail out all the time. We would never be able to upload it on the first try.
That's crazy. Yeah. That and the video quality of that stuff too. I look at some the original stuff where it's a total different resolution and it's all choppy. And at the time, I was this is really good. And now you can do the same thing in 3 minutes it uploads.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Do you remember in the intro to the show was Bill with a plunger?
I do. Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah. The intro is definitely still, I think the intro is on our YouTube channel somewhere.
Is it? Nice. Yeah. Well, there's thousands of videos, so it's probably appropriately buried for, content wise, but man, those were the early days. That was the, it's like Tesla, Elon Musk says, I want to build a truck, but every truck looks like the exact same. I got to go something completely different. He builds a Cybertruck. All of a sudden, everybody's talking about it. It's the same thing with WCR. It had to be something different than kind of how everybody else was. So the very, very beginnings were very, very different and very original. And now there's lots of people that kind of have that same vibe, but you were the ones that started it.
Thanks. Yeah, we had the second channel in YouTube, and we stole the idea from for WCR Nation from this show called Dig Nation.
Dig.
Remember that? Remember dig.com?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like sort of an aggregator of popular news stories at the time, and they would do a weekly show where they sat on the couch with laptops. That's what we did, and we would review forum posts and community posts from 2 or 3 different communities and give our own spin on advice to the people about window cleaning.
That is the most true description that is so deceiving to what the show really was. We were giving our critiques, and it was true, but it was a whole different kind of thing. So
yeah, the show got us in a lot of trouble, really, and that's why we ended up like scrubbing it, because when we first started WCR, the majority of the vendors didn't want to sell to us because of our competitors. It was all very tightly held, and they viewed us as foul-mouthed peasants that they didn't want to allow into their secret club. Right. And they would leverage, anything we said on the show against us. And it worked with some of the manufacturers. Some of the manufacturers took 2, 5, 12 years to end up allowing us to sell their products.
Yeah, that's crazy though. That was all just genuinely just you guys, but it was like this weird fake industry before where everybody was like, I am the like they were overcompensating for being people who just cleaned windows. It's like when you talk to like a person who's like does like custodian stuff, they're like, I am a custodial engineer, and it's like, no, you're just a cleaning person. Like, that's okay. Like, you don't have to like make this fake thing. And that's what that whole industry was. So they hadn't seen it then, but I think that's probably the fire that like, I mean, if they wouldn't have been that, they would have been like, oh man, hey, welcome to the industry. If you need anything, let me it wouldn't have gotten to where it is, It just
Yeah, they laughed at us, like
blatantly.
A lot.
Yeah. Like,
to our faces. Yeah. And part of the reason we got into the supply game was because I was going to IWCA shows as a window cleaner, and I would talk to the other vendors there, and I just felt like I knew more about the products than they did because they weren't window cleaners, and we used them every day. And I thought that was an opportunity.
Yeah. Back in the day, I felt too normal. Like, I felt like an everyday man, and they were like, they wouldn't give you any time. You go talk to me. The guys that really stood out were like Jim Willingham and I always forget the guy's name. The guy with Ederay, gray hair.
Don Shoot?
No, I don't think that was that him that traveled with Ederay forever and would
Don Shoot, Don Shoot, I think worked with Ederay and then Racenstein for a while, and then Pulex maybe.
Yeah. Well, those are the guys that we really connected with. It was a genius to have them because you talk to the corporate people and they were like, they didn't even feel like they wanted to talk to you. But then you talk to those guys that were actually cleaning on the glass and they were like talking like normal people. And it was like, there's little bits of it. But
I really like those guys. And, I got into window cleaning because I wanted nothing to do with the corporate world. And the suppliers at the time, like, fancied themselves higher up than the window cleaners. Like, they put themselves on this pedestal.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Because it was fake. It was fake. We knew more than them, and they put themselves on this artificial pedestal. So,
and the whole making you feel like you're nothing because they're so much better than you has always been a gross thing. Like when I was in window cleaning in general, and people go, "Oh, what do you do?" And everybody's like, "Well, I'm a, data analyst." I just would be like, "I'm a window cleaner," and then I could gauge what they say because a lot of them would be like, "Oh, yeah, no, there's window. Hold on, I'm going to go talk to my," and then they would walk away and you're like, "Oh, this isn't the guy that I'm going to talk to." And then you talk to these blue collar guys that you just associated more with. And they're like, "Heck yeah, man. I heard there's tons of money in that." And it's like, you could tell by their vibe on if they just thought you weren't good enough or if, they knew the business. And that was all the industry back then too.
Totally. And we used WCR Nation to kick their pedestal over.
Yeah. Insanely well. I think, for a lot of the people, so we've been doing this too. So WCR now, this is 18th year. Is that right?
We had our 18th anniversary in this past October. Yeah.
Yeah. So 18 years. I was the first person on the forum, wasn't I?
First or second. Yeah.
For one of the first like 5 people that wasn't associated with the company, at least. But I remember in those days of being like completely refreshed with like something different. And for people who haven't been in the industry that long, don't get the whole like now when you have sit downs with companies who literally laughed in your face and tried to just make you feel bad. And now they're like, you're amazing. I don't understand what you're doing. Like, this is amazing. And it's like, it's kind of vindicating, where it's like,
well, we were a little bit younger than them. So I understood the internet really well and was really into the whole like Web 2.0 thing that was happening at the time. So it was a little bit easier for us. When we started, they didn't even, I think only one of them had a website.
Still,
they were doing business out of paper catalogs.
Yeah, still, when you look at it, not to badmouth any other companies, I'm personally not huge in doing that. But when you look at the other stuff, it's just they're still not doing anything specific, which is very weird. They're still just running a supply company that's just kind of in the background, as opposed to a company where they could put this out there and have content and videos and explainer videos and pictures and giveaways and fun things that they're just all like is this, they're still in the mindset, which is very, very weird. I would have thought everybody would have seen year 1, 2, 3, 5 and kind of gone, whoa, we got to follow. And no one did. They just stayed in their own lane. And now they're kind of like, what do we do? And there's these like, people that nobody can connect with that are now doing videos for them. They're like, so this is, this is the thing. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, this is a very good, and you can tell they're like almost reading it, and you're like, what? This is not me. This isn't me. This isn't the industry. This isn't people. With us, we have so many personalities and people that some people will connect with, like, an Austin who's a very young kind of hippie kind of, I wear short shorts and all that kind of stuff. And then there's John B's who are quiet and kind of, funny in their own way, but they're just like, they're not the center of attention on purpose. You got the Steve-O's who's tattooed and he's, like, I don't comb my hair, I'm just cool, like you get kind of all the different vibes of people, but that's really where people connect to. It's like the reason you and your brother are so different. The reason that you guys work so well together is Alex and you're you. Like, you're not trying to be each other or anything. And some people can connect with Alex and some people can connect with you. And some people can, like, that's missing in all the other parts. It's all this like weird facade where it's like, the child of somebody who, bought a business and they're now talking about it because their dad made them do it. And it's kind of like, oh, you're just not into this. You're just not, we're not the same. We're not thinking the same,
Yeah, I'm super into it, man. Like, I live and breathe it. And we ultimately started.
I don't think people really get it, like how into it you are.
I'm really into it.
Yes.
Like, I do this 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's like my hobby also. Yes. So it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
We ultimately started the company due to 2 simultaneous dissatisfactions. One dissatisfaction was with the community atmosphere that was happening and also the supplier atmosphere, and nobody had brought those 2 things together. So, for example, on the community side, you had 2 forums, primary communication methods. One was World Mail, and it was heavily moderated. It was really good. Like, I was able to build my window cleaning business from reading World Mail, but it was so heavily moderated. You couldn't joke around. There was no fun. And then the other side, you had NWCD, National Window Cleaning Directory Forum, which was just a free-for-all and people talking nonsense all day.
Yeah.
So the vision for WCR community was sort of a hybrid of that. Like, it could be serious and fun at the same time, and people could come and learn how to build their businesses, but it didn't have to be so straight-laced. You could joke around a little bit. And then the dissatisfaction with the suppliers is what I mentioned. I just instantly felt like we knew more about all the window cleaning products than they did. So before we started, we had the idea, like, there's got to be a website. where people can see not just one flat picture in a catalog of a squeegee handle, but you have to see 10 pictures of it. And there has to be a video for every single product, because why not? You can do video now, and you could show it cleaning a window. You could show it three-dimensionally. You could show it from all sides. So, we just took those two ideas and sort of merged them into one.
It's like a living catalog now versus just like a picture on a page,
Yeah. And, we still try to do that 18 years later. We still try to make a video for every single product. We are a little bit behind on that, but we're going to catch up this winter.
At some point within the next probably 2 years, not to put your ideas out there either, but there's going to be some certain things where it comes to how you view items and how you can kind of take in the items where, this is the hard part, especially as the guy talking to the people on the front end like I am, is you talk to these people and you're like, hey, I want you to spend $3,000 on this pure water system. We're like, oh, can we try it first? You're like, nope. You got to trust us. And that's really, really hard. You can't go to like Best Buy and play with it and then come back and buy it, right? So the more real you can make that part, the more informed people get in products genuinely. But even if they're not like, ending up buying at that point, they're getting an actual resource, which is still in the name, which is I think kind of missing on a lot of stuff. Not just the supply sales, but the information that comes along with it.
Yeah, totally. Because we're not just trying to sell people supplies. We're trying to, and have been trying to for 18 years, give people all the resources they need to start a window cleaning business or make their existing window cleaning business thrive and be more profitable.
Yeah. If you scroll down on almost every page, like you said, it's not quite 100% because we come out with 3 new products a day almost, but if you scroll down, there's a video on basically every, like one of our best selling packages called the Ultimate Residential. There's 6 videos on that page alone, and just like setup, and here's how it is, and here's what you're going to get, and here's a quick breakdown. But you can go to a page on every item from that kit, say just the Zero Pure, and there's multiple videos on just that. You go to the Boar's Hair brush, there's multiple videos on just that. It's trying to be real with the items so you can actually make an informed judgment instead of like, I like the blue one or I like the whatever,
Yeah, totally. Because like $3,000 is a massive purchase. Like if I have to buy something in my personal life that's $3,000, I'm mulling over that decision for like a year. Like I don't, you
want to get your hands on it. You want to try it. You want to like see what's real. You really want to understand it before you make it, because no one wants to buy something. You go, I should have bought this other thing.
Yeah, it's just it's a massive amount of money. So. People should be as educated as possible about what they're getting into. So we try to provide that.
Yeah. So like as somebody who lives, breathes, and dreams window cleaning, what does WCR especially look like in like a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, as far as like products and experience, and what is all that? What's like your grandiose vision for that side of it?
Really, I just think it's a continuation of what we're currently doing, just amplified. About a year ago, we launched that low price guarantee thing, and we deployed that across, 20 different product lines. So we're obviously going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to enhance the website, continue to put out educational content, continue to work with a number of window cleaners to bring out new products and tools. Our recent addition here in the past couple of years is like an engineering department with 3D printers and people doing CAD work and designing new stuff. And, on any given day, we're working with 10 to 15 different window cleaners that have ideas for new products that we can do co-ventures with them and, profit sharing type situations, because as we internally get a little bit more and more detached from being on the glass every day, it's important to get and work with guys that have, real ideas, because as you're working all day, you have a ton of ideas.
Yeah. Well, and not even just that we're removed from like the window cleaning. It's like instead of having one brain, you could have, I mean, we have 147,000 customers right now. Like that's 147,000 ideas. People seeing things from a different, somebody's in California and somebody's in Michigan. Somebody's, like that's one thing that's different, I think, with the previous, 10, 15 years ago was there was nobody listening at the time. Like, and you can see that in some of the products come out and you're like, oh, you're an engineer who drew this up and went, this is good. And you've never done this, and then the product comes out and they just miss 100%. It's like, that's not a good product. And then there's other stuff that comes out and it's like, oh, this was invented by a window cleaner who was like, you know what I hate? It's this. So I figured it out. And now I come out with this product. So it's that's where the real innovation kind of comes from for products.
Totally. The mission at WCR is to always have the best price, have literally every window cleaning supply tool that's made in the industry by other people. We'll resell it, but anything we put out ourselves, there has to be a window cleaner involved. We don't just come up with ideas here and they say, hey, we think this is going to be good. We will actually pre-confirm that this is a useful thing and validate that.
It's not just you and your brother just sitting there like leaning back in an office chair throwing tennis balls like, all right, what should we think of today? Like, it's not that, that people tend to forget the 80 people that work there kind of thing. So, but the 3D printing stuff I think is going to be phenomenal. Like the change now where like 3D printing back in the day was garbage. It just was like, it was more for prototypes. You could see it in real life. Now the stuff is so good. It's like production. Like you can make tools that are incredibly strong. And because we make the tools, we then can put warranties on them and take care of the customer. And you're not just like mass producing things and just like hoping it works. It's a whole different thing. You can literally tweak something in a design in one day. We've done that even with the systems and stuff as we're building things and a certain piece to that's not quite right or the fitting we didn't like, or it's like, okay, throw those 1,000 pieces away. We're going to redo this. You have the utmost control where as a manufacturer that's out there, it's only doing manufacturing. It's like a Mormon bought a mold and they're not going to make one little change on it because they're going to have to buy a new mold for like, it's so far removed that it's not that they don't listen. It's just that they can't physically turn it around in one day like we can.
Yeah, totally. And the 3D printing really helps with speed to market on things. We currently produce 3 products out of it that are actually sold or a component in a system. But then we're using it for prototyping. We use it a lot. We make the stands that support the brushes in the boxes so they don't get bent. But we're working on building a new pure water system now, and it's got 4 3D printed parts in it. And once we prove it to be viable, we will get a plastic mold made for that, and that'll take 3 months. But this enables you to really confirm something works before you get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of plastic molds made.
Yeah, I won't bring up a company's name, but I don't know. You've been in the industry long enough to remember something called a beta brush pack. And that was the worst, most garbage. When I sold my company, I had like 12 boxes. I had a case of those things still. I took the whole thing out and threw it in the dumpster. It was the worst thing ever. And it was a product that was supposed to be beta tested, which was basically like, hey, you still have to buy this product, but it's going to suck. And you have to tell us what to do. And nothing changed. Like that was out for years and years and years. And it's like, your hands are tied when you have to like make these minimum orders of 10,000 pieces, where this part, it's like, okay, this one thing, we can just tweak one little piece to it, print it overnight, and the next day it's new. It's like that just in innovation wise is just really, really unheard of. Only in the very, very biggest of companies that can kind of do that. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah. That's where I see the industry going, especially for us, is just like so much more of like, we're more connected to a lot of just window cleaners than a lot of window cleaning companies. So when something comes up and somebody's got an idea, it can literally be a reality within, a week. It's really that fast where there is nobody else. Everybody else just goes, oh, nice idea. Like, that's it. That's all they have. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I spent a pretty substantial part of my day just navigating a whole bunch of different online communities and chatting to people and doing customer support and, engaging with people about current ideas and future ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. That I think too is missing from a lot of other companies, that the larger they get, unfortunately, the less connected they get, where one of your goals for WCR is the bigger we get, the more connected we actually get. Right. I mean, it's very easy to lose sight of that when all of a sudden you're looking at different things and there's, different people in place and positions and guys that are in part of the departments that we have that have never cleaned windows. It's like, okay, we're not corporate, because that was the opposite of everything anyway. It's just we now have more resources to kind of stay connected and kind of be closer than any other company.
Yeah. And I think we'll continue to do that because it's obviously a winning formula, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. I got to talk one quick thing on AI. Is you're one of the guys that follows that part too extremely well. We're not going to go too much into that and have a whole thing on that. But I want to know from you is, do you think AI is to the point yet that window cleaners can use that in their business? And if so, like how can they do that where it makes sense for their business?
They could use it to write emails, to auto respond to people, to generate marketing pieces, marketing copy, anything revolving the digits, the business side, like the bits, the computer bits will, I think, there's tons of opportunity there just to refine the business aspect, but AI will never affect the physical aspect of the work,
I had this is like 2 weeks ago, I had a customer call, and it wasn't an order or anything. He's like, hey man, I just got to run something by you. He goes, should I sell my company? I'm like, that's a big question. Like, what's making you think that? He's like, no, should I sell it before the robots take over? Because I know that's coming, and like, I'm going to lose my job anyway, right? I mean, like, should I sell it now while there's still value to it? I'm like, okay, so you've seen Boston Dynamics, which is like the best robots in the world, and there's guys hitting them with 2x4s and they tip over and freak out on the ground. Like that's where they're at. There's no realistic kind of, a precision thing like that too. You're going to get your $100,000 robot to go clean some windows. I mean, a real window cleaner is going to be able to beat that. That's the physical side. That's one thing that we have for our industry, is that we're going to always have that. I mean, it's going to take a very, very long time for that to even be worth something that has no real human anything. There's always going to have to be that aspect.
Well, I think you'll see robots cleaning windows in 10 years, like the Tesla robot, for example. If you look at that, likely in 10 years, majority of people are going to have one of those in their house for day-to-day chores and stuff like that, but they're going to be specialized. So people will still have window cleaning businesses, and perhaps they will invest in a window cleaning robot for their labor force because it'll be specialized for that task.
Yeah.
Not so much
replacing everything.
The robot in someone's home is going to be for specialized home tasks, not cleaning windows, and then other specialized robots will be owned by window cleaning companies to do work. Likely, I'd guess.
Like on the record, do you own a Tesla robot yet?
I will buy one second. They come up for pre-order. I look at the thing every once in a while and hope to get my name on the list because... Really? Yeah, totally. I'll get 20 of them if I can, because basic tasks around here, like folding towels, for example, I could see that easily offloaded. We have like 2 people at all times, like literally all day, sorting towels and putting the bad ones to the side and assembling the good ones.
Just so you know about me, is if my job is ever to fold towels 8 hours a day every day, I don't want that job anymore. Like,
it's not. We don't have the same people on it. People rotate around to not wear them out.
It takes a special person. Do you remember a guy that worked for me named Guy? It was one of my longer running guys. He was the guy you could hand him a toothbrush and say, clean that. And he'd be like, cool. All right. And he would get it done. It would take him 4 days. If you just said, hey, could you clean that? He would just not understand. He has to be directed, But his job was to, go through on a pallet jack with a little printer on his wrist and pick things off shelves. And he's done that now for 12, 15 years. Like when he left me, that's what he went to do. And he loves the repetitive task. So there's a lot of people out there that just enjoy that part. It's just not me.
Yeah, me neither. I do need to fill my day with different things. I usually am in front of the big monitor for half the day, and then the other half of the day being around the warehouse, working on various things.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things kind of going on, and just a bigger picture for the industry and a bigger picture for us is really going to really happen with a bang, I think, in 2026. So it's exciting to kind of see where things have gone and where things are going and kind of where it's come from. And if you're listening or watching and you remember the early days, please share stories with us. We'd always love to hear it. Comment anywhere that there are and know that we're looking at them. So, yeah, I appreciate you coming to hang out with me. If you guys need any supplies, please let us prove ourselves to you. My name is Jersey, like the state. My number directs 862-312-2026. Give me a call. Go to windowcleaner.com. Check us out. I guarantee that you will be happy. If not, we'll make it right. We want to be your supplier if we're not already. So thank you guys for everything. And thank you, Chris, for hanging out today.
Anytime. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Definitely. All right, guys, we will talk soon. Until next week, go out there and know the history of the company, but more importantly, go out there and be epic.